Let's begin the day with a town hall featuring RTC, the Chief Minister of Delhi, and RTC doesn't need an introduction. And this session will be moderated by Smitakshi Beguswamy, Director of Pratidin Media Network. Please join me in welcoming them to the stage, and Ms. Goswami will now felicitate RTC. This session is for 45 minutes, and we have reserved 15 minutes for the question and answer session. So you have your QR code in front of you, and do shoot the questions. We would love to pick them up. Thank you. Over to Smitakshi Beguswamy.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we are privileged to host a leader who's redefining governance and empowering citizens. Youngest Chief Minister of Delhi. Her commitment to education, healthcare, social welfare is inspiring. We are thrilled to have you here, Atishi ji, to Conclave 2024. So, ma'am, to head straight ahead with our conversation, you are a highly qualified person. You have gone to Springdale School, St. Stephen College, then you went to Oxford University for your higher education. What was that moment of your life that when you chose politics as your mainstream career?
So from an early age, I was involved in a lot of social activism, social causes, be it when I was in school. I remember early days, that was when the literacy mission had started. And I was a part of the NSS when I was a student. So I was definitely very active in social causes. Over the years, I began to see that social initiatives have their own limitations. And anytime there would be an issue, be it an environmental issue, a gender issue, and some of us as young students, young professionals would come out onto the streets to protest. There would never be more than 30, 40 people who would come out in support of a cause. And I remember when the India Against Corruption movement started. At that point of time, I was living and working in rural Madhya Pradesh. And for the first time, I thought that people were coming out of their homes who had never stepped out of their homes. And I realized that this was definitely a moment of change. This was definitely a moment when people across the country said that they had had enough. They had had enough with the politics of the country, they had had enough with the politicians of the country, they had had enough with the corruption in the country. And people who had never stepped out of their homes stepped out for the first time. And at that point of time, I used to just spend some time volunteering for the India Against Corruption movement. When the movement was on, during that time I had shifted from Madhya Pradesh to Delhi. I used to do some back-end research for India Against Corruption. India Against Corruption became Aam Aadmi Party, and I started working for that. I don't know if I ever thought at that point of time that I would enter electoral politics and one day be the Chief Minister of Delhi. But I do definitely would say that one thing is, I have no doubt about one thing, that politics is the only way to bring about large-scale change. All other social initiatives have their limitations. For example, I have worked for many years in the education sector. Now, if I was working in a non-profit, even a large non-profit, over a 5-year period, over a 10-year period, I could have touched the lives of maybe 5,000 children, 10,000 children. But in the last 10 years, the Aam Aadmi Party government in Delhi, the Arvind Kejriwal government in Delhi, has transformed the lives of more than 25 lakh children who study in Delhi government schools. And I think that really is the difference. that if you want to bring change at a scale, then politics is the only way.
Don't mind me in saying that you are almost like the Lady Nayak, like what we saw in Anil Kapoor's movie. Anil Kapoor becomes the chief minister for one day. You have got a few more months, but then under your wing, there are around 13 ministries. It's not an easy task. You have important portfolios like finance, education, healthcare, women and child welfare. What are the top priorities for Delhi?
I think one of the things we need to understand when you look at our top priorities is what has happened to Aam Aadmi Party in the last 2 years. If you were to see the last 2 years, the kind of attack that has happened on Aam Aadmi Party, the kind of all our leaders got arrested one after the other. I don't think in the history of India there would be any political party, all of whose top leaders were put into jail within a few months of each other. First, Satyendra Jain was arrested, Manish Sisodia was arrested, Sanjay Singh was arrested, finally Delhi's Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal was arrested. I think if you were to look at the history of democratic India, in the last 75 years, no party would have faced the kind of persecution that Aam Aadmi Party has faced in the last 2 years. Now, why was this done? See, the thing is that they said that there is this so-called excise policy scam. Now, in the last 2 years, hundreds of raids were done, so many officers were put on the job. They were not able to recover 1 rupee as proceeds of crime anywhere. So then what was the real reason? The real reason was the work that the Arvind Kejriwal government did over the last 10 years. Delhi is the only state that gives 24 hours electricity and gives free electricity to 70% of people who live in the city. Delhi is the only state where parents are removing their children from private schools and admitting them into government schools because government schools are outperforming private schools. Delhi is the only state where poor people don't have to sort of sell their jewelry, sell their homes, get into infinite debt just because one of their family members is ill, because you get world-class and free treatment in all government hospitals. So what the Arvind Kejriwal government has done in the last 10 years. Now, BJP has governments in 22 states. Name one state where they're able to get 24 hours electricity and give it free of cost. Name one state where government schools outperform private schools, where government hospitals are better than private hospitals. So when BJP was not able to outperform the Arvind Kejriwal government, they had only one way out. One, to try and discredit the government, and number two, to try and stop the work, which is what they did in the last 2 years. So definitely in the last 2 years, but specifically in the last 6 months with the arrest of Arvind Kejriwal, with Arvind Kejriwal being in custody, work for the people of Delhi did suffer. And the central government did everything possible to stop the work that we were doing. Would you believe that they stopped the pensions of 1 lakh senior citizens who were dependent upon 2,500 rupees a month? 10,000 bus marshals were put out of their jobs. Widow pensions were stopped. Water bills were inflated. Road repairs came to a stop. Delhi Jal Board funds were stopped. So the last 6 months, there has definitely been a conspiracy to stop the work of the ordinary people of Delhi. So if you were to ask me what is my top priority over the next 3 months, then I think over the next 3 months, ensuring that all the work that came to a standstill in the last 6 months gets done, be it the pensions of widows, be it the pensions of old age citizens, be it Delhi Jal Board works, be it repair of roads. So all of these things now I intend to get done, and of course under the guidance of our party leader, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal.
Right. But then having said that, 13 ministries under you, is there no one else who can look after few other ministries apart from the chief minister?
So Delhi has a peculiar problem. Delhi has a peculiar problem in the sense that Delhi, only 10% of the legislators can be ministers, which means that in a legislative assembly of 70 MLAs, you can have only 7 ministers. But the number of departments that exists does not decrease. So as a result, there are several ministers who therefore have multiple portfolios on their plate. Mr. Saurabh Bhardwaj, I think, has 8 portfolios. Mr. Kailash Gehlot has 5 or 6 portfolios. So this juggling has to be done because of the peculiarity of Delhi.
So Delhi being the hub of educational institutes, students from all across, especially Northeastern students, flock here every year for their education in top universities and schools. So my question is, they often find issues of accommodation, security, and other issues, infrastructure. How would Delhi government address this kind of an issue for the students?
No, it's a very good question, and I think using your channel as a medium, I would like to invite a delegation of students from the Northeast to come for a meeting, and so that we can discuss what are the kind of issues they face and in what ways can Delhi government contribute. So I would like to use this forum to extend an invitation to students from the Northeast. Let us come and have a discussion, and we will do everything possible to support them.
Thank you, madam. So my next question is, there are a lot of people coming from Northeast for their treatment, especially to get their treatment from AIIMS. And often they find it difficult to find affordable accommodation because places like Assam House or any other state houses are exhausted by politicians. They are preoccupied by politicians. So people who are in need, they usually do not get a vacancy there. So can Delhi government form some accommodations like that, maybe dormitories funded by Delhi government for Northeast, for Assam, especially for medical treatments?
I would say there are 3 dimensions to your question. Number 1 is the fact that it indicates that the existing government in Assam is not able to provide adequate health care, that a large number of people from Assam have to come to Delhi to get high quality health care in AIIMS. So I think that first of all, this is an indictment of the current government, that in fact, as far as Delhi is concerned, it's the reverse. The quality of health care that we provide, not just in the central government hospitals, but in Delhi government hospitals, is that a large number of patients actually come from the neighboring states to Delhi to get their treatment done. So I think the indicator of a good government is the fact that we are able to provide health care not just to our own citizens, but maybe even provide access to health care. Assam being surrounded by a lot of maybe slightly less developed states in the Northeast should actually be providing healthcare to those states as well, rather than people from Assam coming to Delhi to get their own treatment done. So that is number 1. Number 2, I think this question also indicates the fact that the current political class in Assam doesn't care about the people of Assam. If Assam House is occupied by politicians, then I think the people of Assam really deserve to give an answer to the current government in power, the Bharatiya Janata Party government, that the resources of Assam are for the people of Assam, not for misuse by politicians. And number 3, as far as Delhi government is concerned, we would be happy to look into what support we can provide.
Being the 3rd woman Chief Minister of Delhi after Sheila Dikshit, Sushma Swaraj ji, how will you address the safety of women in Delhi? Because Delhi is registered as the highest rate of crime against women, and it is considered the most unsafe city, metropolitan city in the country by NCRB reports. What is your take on that?
Definitely, there's no doubt about the fact that crime in the capital is extremely high. Delhi is unfortunately in a very peculiar situation. And the peculiar situation is that law and order and police in Delhi policing comes under the central government. And the party in power in the center is the same as the party in power in Assam. And just as they misuse the Assam House, they use most of Delhi police to provide security to their VIPs rather than the ordinary people of Delhi. So yes, that is something that is on my priority list. I will be taking it up with the central government, that the police exists for the people of Delhi. and definitely should be providing them security. As far as Delhi government goes, there are several steps we have taken. Number one, in terms of providing safety and security, one of the big demands of women in Delhi was CCTV cameras. Today, Delhi has the highest network of CCTV cameras across the world. It has, in fact, even beaten London in the kind of CCTV camera coverage that we have provided, number one. Number two, and I think another important dimension of women's safety is women being in the public domain, is that the more women step out of their homes, there is safety in numbers. And I think a major step that has been taken by the Delhi government is to provide free bus travel to all women. So any women who want to step out of their houses don't have to pay for bus tickets anymore. And I feel this has really empowered women. Every day, lakhs of women are stepping out of their homes, availing free bus travel, going to different parts of the city, be it to study, be it to work, be it for recreational purposes. And I think this adds to the safety and security of women.
So Delhi assembly elections approaching. How do you engage the voters and address their needs? As you have few political challenges faced by Aam Aadmi Party, do you think you will win this time the elections?
Definitely. I think there's no doubt about the fact that Aam Aadmi Party is going to form the next government and Arvind Kejriwal is going to be Chief Minister once again with a landslide majority for the 4th time. And I'll tell you the reason why. The reason is very simple. The reason is no longer just that we provide 24/7 electricity, or we provide high quality government schools, or we provide good quality healthcare in mohalla clinics and hospitals, or that we give free bus rides to women. All that is of course there. But there is so much anger in the people at the way the Aam Aadmi Party government and leaders have been persecuted, that their beloved Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal was arrested on false charges, put behind bars for 6 months. People see Arvind Kejriwal not just as a politician, not just as an elected representative or a Chief Minister. People see, the people of Delhi see Arvind Kejriwal as their son, as their brother, as their family member. When Arvind Kejriwal was arrested, there were women, and especially older women, who were crying, who were shedding tears because of his arrest. Women prayed, went to temples, kept fasts so that Arvind Kejriwal could be released. And what we are going to see this time in the last election, Bharatiya Janata Party got 8 out of 70 seats. This time they would be very lucky if they were to get even 1 seat in the Delhi Assembly. That is the kind of anger there is against them at this point of time
So
in
the
Delhi.
liquor scam will not affect the party image at all?
See, what has happened is that Bharatiya Janata Party, as I said, they had a twofold conspiracy. First part of their conspiracy was to try and defame the Aam Aadmi Party. Second part of their conspiracy was to try and stop the work of Aam Aadmi Party. To try and stop the work, I have already arrested. That really is our main target, to ensure that all the work that got stopped in the last few months with the Chief Minister's arrest, Mr. Kejriwal's arrest, should once again start and get back on track. As far as defaming Aam Aadmi Party is concerned, what Arvind Kejriwal has done with his resignation has set new standards of ethics and morality, not just in Delhi, but in Indian politics as a whole. Everybody knows that Arvind Kejriwal has been arrested on fake charges. I mean, after hundreds of raids, they have not been able to recover like 1 rupee of proceeds of crime. I mean, we have all seen in the history of the country how when CBI does raids, ED does raids, you have these stacks of cash, which they sort of form into letters like C, B, I, they write in cash, or they find gold biscuits, papers of shell companies, property in relatives' names, in your dog's name, in your driver's name. This is what happens. All Aam Aadmi Party leaders were raided. They went to our homes, they went to our offices, they saw our lockers, they went to our ancestral villages. Not 1 rupee was recovered. Yet they arrested all our leaders. They arrested them under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act under PMLA, in which bail is virtually impossible. Yet all our leaders got bail, and when Arvind Kejriwal was given bail by the Supreme Court basically slapped There was a slap on the face of the central government and its agencies when they said that these agencies shouldn't be like a caged parrot speaking in their master's voice, and that Arvind Kejriwal's arrest was out of a malintent, is the kind of strong language that the Supreme Court used. Now, if there had been any other leader in the place of Arvind Kejriwal, they would not have thought twice about going back and occupying the seat of the chief minister and going back to that position. But it was an Arvind Kejriwal who said that what the court has said is not enough for me. That when I have been discredited, when these kind of charges have been put against me, I need the stamp of approval of the people of Delhi. The people of Delhi have to believe in my honesty. And I think that is what this coming election is going to be, a referendum by the people of Delhi on the honesty of Arvind Kejriwal, on the credibility of Arvind Kejriwal, and on the work of Arvind Kejriwal. And you are in Delhi for a few days, step out of this venue, speak to 10 people in Delhi. I think the election results would be very clear to you.
So the Aam Aadmi Party has been in power for 10 years now in Delhi, and it has successfully won Punjab. Now Haryana is in pipeline. According to exit poll, AAP did very bad because it shows 0, according to the exit polls. What is your take on it? And do you regret your decision of not going in alliance with Congress?
So first of all, yes, we were keen on an alliance. We were very clear. We were in talks. With them for quite a while. Unfortunately, the alliance did not work out. But I think for any political party, every state election is not going to be like the Delhi election, where in the first go we form the government, where we get 67 out of 70 seats, or in Punjab, where within 2 elections we get a landslide majority. If you were to look at how political parties grow, the growth trajectory of political parties is via state elections, is via panchayat elections, is via municipal corporation elections. For example, even in Assam, Aam Aadmi Party is definitely on a growth trajectory. When we first contested the municipal corporation elections in different parts of Assam, a lot of people used to ask us that, what does, like, this is a Delhi party, this is a North India party, what are you people even doing in Assam? But the people of Assam have shown faith in us. It might be a small start, but the fact that in different cities in Assam, municipal corporators of Aam Aadmi Party have gotten elected, the fact that in Lok Sabha elections we contested 2 seats, and in one of the 2 seats we got about 20%, 18-20% vote share. These are all remarkable starts. And I think the same goes for Haryana. That I think in Haryana, I do feel that Aam Aadmi Party is likely to win a few seats. But I think this definitely sets the stage for our growth and expansion in Haryana in the future. Because if you were to look at Aam Aadmi Party, we are barely a 10-12-year-old party. And in 10-12 years of our existence, we have a government in 2 states. Not just governments, we have governments with brute majorities, landslide majorities in Delhi and Punjab. We have MLAs in Goa, we have MLAs in Punjab. We are the fastest growing national party in the history of independent India. So there is a phrase in Hindi, it says, कि मतलब बच्चे की जान लोगे क्या? What more are you expecting from a political party with such few resources? I mean, we don't have the kind of resources that a Bharatiya BJP or a Congress have. And not just do we not have the resources, despite not having any resources, we are the most persecuted political party in the history of this country. And yet, despite all of this, Aam Aadmi Party under the leadership of Arvind Kejriwal has shown a remarkable growth trajectory. And the other thing that you have to understand about Aam Aadmi Party, that Arvind Kejriwal has created this party out of nothing. We are not mainstream politicians. I am the Chief Minister of Delhi today. I come from no political background. My father is not a minister. My grandfather is not a governor. I don't come from a family of wealth. I don't come from I don't have any specific vote bank. But yet, in Aam Aadmi Party, not only did I become an MLA, not only did I become a minister, today I've become the Chief Minister of Delhi. And I think this really, so it is, Aam Aadmi Party has not just grown in terms of its numbers. Aam Aadmi Party has changed the way in which politics is done, and the kind of people who can think of coming into politics. I don't think that this would have happened 10 years ago.
So that puts me to the next question. So with the India Alliance, Aam Aadmi Party is often seen kabhi haan, kabhi na. So what is this equation with India Alliance?
नहीं, हम तो कभी हाँ ही हैं, सामने वाले कभी हाँ करते हैं, कभी ना करते हैं.
Okay. What are your visions for Assam? Because the BJP government is going strong with 8 years of governance, and the opposition, Congress, is coming out to be quite strong. And now we have AAP, who is also trying to penetrate. So what are your visions for Assam elections, or your vote share, how to increase the vote shares in Assam?
See, I think as far as Assam goes, as far as any other state goes, I think what is Aam Aadmi Party in any part of the country? Aam Aadmi Party is the voice of ordinary people. That is what we stand for. One of the biggest problems in the country today, and not just in Assam, the same goes for Delhi, the same used to go for Punjab, the same goes for all other states, is that political parties don't represent the interests of the people who vote for them. Political parties represent the interests of people who fund their political party. So these mainstream political parties take money from big industrialists, maybe from like in the case of Assam, maybe tea garden owners, etc. And so they are representing only their interests. But what about the ordinary people? What about those who send their children into government schools? Just because political parties have links with private school owners does not mean that they will bring government school into shambles. What about ordinary people who want to get treated in government hospitals, who require primary health care in far-flung areas of Assam? Just because the existing political setup has links with private hospitals, they have links with private schools, private coaching institutes, private universities, and I don't need to name names, everyone is well aware of who these people are. You have children who cannot get good education, you have people who cannot get good health care. You have the rights of tea garden workers who have been fighting for their basic rights, for their homes, for their pattas in all of these years, which they haven't gotten. Now, all of these steps are not rocket science. All of these things that I'm saying to you, anyone whom you meet when you're walking in the streets of Assam would tell you. But why haven't they happened? The reason they haven't happened is because the political class, the politicians of Assam, are aligned not to ordinary people, but to those who have vested interests, be it big businesses, be it private hospitals, be it private schools, etc. And that is what the Aam Aadmi Party will change. Aam Aadmi Party will represent the voice of the people of Assam, just as we are representing the voice of the ordinary people of Delhi, the ordinary people of Punjab, and we are committed to improving the lives, the quality of lives of the ordinary people of Assam.
But will that turn into votes? Because it is very difficult, as BJP government is quite a strong party, and there are a lot of schemes that has been introduced for the tea tribes, women welfare and everything. So will AAP be able to match up to those schemes?
In 2013, when Aam Aadmi Party contested elections for the first time in Delhi, when Mr. Arvind Kejriwal said he's going to contest opposite Sheila Dikshit from the New Delhi constituency, a lot of our well-wishers used to say to us, "Bhai, tumne na ye bahut galti kar di. Agar Arvind Kejriwal ji kahin aur se ladte, kam se kam tum logon ki ek seat to aa jati hai. Ab to ek seat bhi nahi aayegi." In that election, first time when we contested, we won 28 out of 70 seats, when no one thought that we were even a contender, and we formed a minority government. Within 1 year, in 2015, we contested elections, and we got 67 out of 70 seats. So Aam Aadmi Party has always been underestimated in terms of how we perform. And we look forward to our expansion in Assam. Maybe different in different states, the growth trajectory might be different. It is not necessary that in all states you would, it is not far from necessary. It is quite unlikely that in all states you would form the government in the first time you contest elections. But I think not just in Assam, but across the country, people are looking towards Aam Aadmi Party with a lot of hope as a party that can change the lives of people.
Thank you so much. Now I would like to know Atishi ji as a person. Some fun questions, some short questions, just a one-liner, it's fine. So do you cook?
No, not just because I don't get the time, but I'm a horrible cook. I find it very difficult to eat what I cook myself, far from subjecting other people to it. So yes, so that is a definite no. And also I think in this era of Zomato and Swiggy, that I think this requirement of people to cook has also definitely gone down.
So if you wouldn't be in politics, what would it be?
I would probably in the field of education. I would probably be a school teacher.
Definitely. What is your favorite hobby?
I would like to sleep more. I mean, that is really, that would be my favorite hobby. And if I get the opportunity, but the unfortunate thing is, that is the one thing that I get the least of after coming into politics. So yes.
Right. So what time do you sleep?
Well, I would just say very little. I sleep very late at night, and I have to wake up, unfortunately, quite early in the morning to get work done. These days, I end up going home every day with large stacks of files that I have to go through, work that has to be done. So often well past midnight.
Oh, past midnight. And
Yes.
what time do you wake up?
That depends on what the first program of the day is.
So today you must have woken up early.
Today I had to wake up at 6 o'clock to ensure that I'm wide awake and alert and well caffeinated before coming to your conclave.
What's the one word that you would describe Delhi as? One word.
Full of energy.
Okay.
Full of energy.
And one word to describe Arvind Kejriwal ji?
Courage.
Courage. And up as a party?
Strong.
Your favorite cartoon character as a child?
Calvin and Hobbes.
Oh. And because it's trending these days, it's a world of memes. What's your favorite meme?
That I would not like to say because they are not very polite memes about our political opponents.
And where do you get your energy from? What's the secret? Do you have Chyawanprash?
Well, I have lots of black coffee, but I think that I get my energy from the work that I do. And when one sees the impact of the work on the people that one works with, that is what gives energy. I think in the last 10 years, definitely, the last 10 years have been very challenging. Aam Aadmi Party has faced hurdles at every step. Just in the last 2 years, the kind of legal battles we faced, very close colleagues, almost, our colleagues are almost like family members, with very, very close colleagues being in jail, with work pressure. But despite all of that, when you go into a school in the morning and you see children coming from poor backgrounds, getting high quality world-class education, that gives you energy. When you see the fact that the daughter of a carpenter gets admission into IIT, that gives you energy. When you see the fact that girls from a lower middle class locality, 32 girls from one school in a lower middle class locality, clear the NEET exam and get into medical colleges, that gives me energy.
Lovely. And which is your favorite, most favorite media channel or media organization?
Of course it's Pratidin Times.
Oh, thank you.
What else can I say?
So thank you, that's all for now. And I hand over the stage to Mrinal Talukdar for the question and answers.
Thank you, Smitaxis. As usual, Atishi is always articulate and fantastic to listen to. I have a number of questions. Questions are broadly divided into two parts. One is the student needs, because there are a lot of students from Delhi University, and others are political. Let's start the political first. Abhinav Borgohain. Please stand up, identify. Yeah, Avinav, here is a microphone. Can somebody help another microphone? Any volunteers?
Hello, ma'am. Myself Abhinav from Ramjas College. Ma'am, my basic question will be, after Sir Kejriwal's resignation from the CM post, with you taking the new CM post, will there be a new approach to Delhi within this new few months? And also one other question which lines up to this particular question is that, will the situation also remain the same, or we can see a change in the situations in the next few months?
Thank you, Abhinav.
You want me to answer them one by one? Or
One by one.
So as I mentioned, that I think this entire persecution of Aam Aadmi Party was intended to stop the work in Delhi, right? When you arrest an elected chief minister and put him in jail on what are very blatantly fake charges, but under a law in which it is virtually impossible to get bail, the reason for that is that you want to stop the good work that is being done. And of course, yes, it is a fact that the people of Delhi have paid the price for it in the last 6 months. I think now with Mr. Kejriwal out of jail, yeah, he may not be the chief minister anymore, but definitely the Delhi government would be running under his guidance. And I think the key focus would be to get the work started that has come to a standstill in the last few months. And you can see that that is something that has already started. We have taken up this campaign of improving road quality in the last few weeks. And you can see how in different parts of the city, if you were to travel in any part of the city at night these days, you would see huge machines, road rollers, building roads, filling potholes on a war footing. And I think that is what you're going to see across the board in many of the areas where there have been problems. Thank you.
Anamika Ghosh. I think that's Anamika. Anamika Ghosh. Oh.
Good morning, ma'am. I'm Anamika. So my question to you is, what are the Aam Aadmi Party's further plans for expanding its government in the entire Northeast region and particularly in Assam?
No, definitely Assam is a high priority state for us, and our team in Assam is extremely active. We have already some corporators in different parts of Assam, including in Guwahati, and we will be contesting the upcoming elections in Assam, and we hope that we can make a difference there.
Shivam Jaishwal, during the question answer with Smitakshi, RTC has replied to this question to a large extent, but you can still raise. Shivam Jaishwal is about a hostel.
Hello, ma'am.
Where are you? Yeah.
Hello, ma'am. My name is Shivam, Zakir Hussain, Delhi College. My question is, क्या दिल्ली सरकार ड्यूक में दूर से पढ़ने आए स्टूडेंट्स के लिए हॉस्टल की व्यवस्था के बारे में कुछ कदम उठाने के बारे में सोच रही है?
ये अभी जो कॉन्क्लेव में बात हुई थी, तो मैंने यही कहा था कि जो मैं प्रतिदिन चैनल के माध्यम से नॉर्थ ईस्ट के स्टूडेंट्स की डेलीगेशन, असम के स्टूडेंट्स की डेलीगेशन को डेफिनेटली इनवाइट करूंगी कि जो उनकी समस्याएं हैं उनको हम मिलकर कैसे सॉल्व कर सकते हैं. वी वुड डेफिनेटली बी ओपन टू ऑल ऑफ दैट.
Last question, Tanuj. Probably it is not related to only Northeast and Assam, but about the whole student community. Where is Tanuj? Yeah, Tanuj. I believe you are asking this question as general, not specific to Assam and Northeast.
Yes, sir. Good morning, ma'am. I'm Tanuj from Kirodimal College. Ma'am, my question is, considering the deplorable state of accommodation for students and sanitation, particularly near the North Campus area of Delhi, what comprehensive policy reforms would you prioritize as the CM of Delhi to ameliorate these situations?
So first of all, as you know, one of the problems as far as Delhi University is concerned currently in terms of infrastructure is also just the poor quality of roads. In fact, our entire road improvement campaign started from Delhi University. That was the first roads that were inspected, and work there has already started. Second, sanitation, yes, there have been challenges with the municipal corporation, but I think in the last couple of weeks, the mayor has been focusing on improving sanitation situation, and we will definitely take into consideration if there are issues in North Campus. As far as accommodation improvement goes, I think for this we will need to liaison with the central government, because after all, Delhi University is a central government university. We do fund 12 colleges in Delhi University, but I think most of them are not in the North Campus area. A lot of them cater largely to the Delhi rural population. They're in outer Delhi. So as far as students on North Campus go, as I said, we will be in touch with the concerned authorities to see what accommodation we can provide.
I will extend one more question because I love this question. Moisha Kashyap, be quick and answer should be also quick. Moisha Kashyap is about environment. Yeah, come over this side. Come over this side. Yeah, shoot the question.
Good morning, ma'am. Thank you for addressing so many crucial issues. I hope one of them were about the environmental crisis that the city is facing right now. Ma'am, and what's the government's take on that? And do you think local communities can be in some way involved in the efforts taken by the government, like within the political framework to tackle the environmental crisis?
So if you were to look at Delhi, yes, Delhi at this time of year has a peculiar climatic situation where pollution levels rise quite a lot. But if you were to actually look at it in terms of data, in terms of local sources of pollution, studies both by the Center of Science and Environment and recently a few days back a study released by IIT Delhi show that decentralized interventions have reduced pollution, the source pollution in Delhi by 22 to 25%. Delhi is the only metropolitan city where forest cover has grown by almost 20% in the last 10 years. Just this year itself, Delhi government has taken on an ambitious target of planting 65 lakh plants in 1 year. Not just this, Delhi has the highest uptake of electric vehicles across the country. In fact, not just in India, I think in terms of electric bus fleet, now Delhi has the second largest electric bus fleet across the world. Today, more than 10% of the vehicles that are being bought in Delhi because of the incentives provided by Delhi government, I think 10 to 12% are electric vehicles. So yes, a lot of steps are being taken, but Delhi is also a complex metropolis. It is complex in the sense that there are two categories of pollution that have high impact. One is construction and the second is vehicular pollution. With an expanding city, with an upwardly mobile city, with an aspirational city, there are often people are reconstructing their houses, they are breaking them down, they are building them again. Every family is buying multiple cars. So there is definitely a contribution that we will need from the people as well. Because if we have to improve the environment, then it is not just the government which is taking its own steps, but also people will need to come forward and make some sacrifices for a cleaner and for a greener Delhi.
Thank you from my side. That's all from the question and answer. Over to Sumitakshi Goswami.
Thank you so much. It was a thrilling experience to have you amongst us. And thank you for answering all our queries and questions so well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.